you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And look, as soon as we talk about ASIC, I would like the first opportunity I have to come in on behalf of the people of Red Shield Fund and First Guardian. These are superannuants who lost up to, I think, $1.2 billion. The money was basically stolen. Now, I know Macquarie Bank has now come into bat for one of them as one of the proponents who put these forward, but this was a classic example of red flags being thrown up that were never picked up, of pressure salespeople coming in. There are people who woke up, Madam Deputy Speaker, and they'd lost over $1 million worth of their savings. We had people who were ready to retire and then basically have to go back to work. For how long? For as long as they can possibly work. For as long as they can possibly work. And this is a sign of the incompetence of this system to pick these things up. Madam Deputy Speaker, the First Guardian and Shield were approved by 4 super fund trustees, but rejected by others. There should be a minimum standard for a fund for superannuation and limits on exposure to one. These mass marketing campaigns, ASIC should have been looking at them, finding out what is happening. Now, Madam Speaker, I want to give a big shout out to Melinda Key and the work that she's been doing on behalf of these people. I told these people that I would go into bat for them. It was a case, and I know that Minister Molino has now seen them, but they sent over 4,000 emails to him and he never replied. He never replied. Now he has. Now he has. But it's taken a while. It's taken a while. And what these people want is they're saying, if you're the policeman, if you're looking after this, if you have the oversight over this, how did this happen to us? You know, what should be happening now? See, people should be paid, and you go out and recover the money as best you can. But what we see here is this sort of a silence. Okay, Macquarie Bank have come in, but it's silence from the government on the rest. It's funny how the government can find all these billions and billions of dollars for domestic billionaires and international companies for independent power, and then when their own workers are put out, have basically have their retirement smashed, it all becomes too quiet. And I've been sort of waiting, maybe that the Minister might want to give a statement or come to the dispatch box and answer a question. I thought, that'd have to happen. Imagine a lot of these people voted Labor. I mean, when you just blow 1.2, I think between 1.2 and 1.4 billion dollars, you'd expect it might strike a feature, as we used to say in accountancy terms. Strike a feature in your reporting back to the Parliament. No such luck. So how do we know that we've lost $1.2 billion from these two funds? How do we know it's not going to happen again? Why don't we have the minister come out? I hear he's an honours graduate. I think he went to Harvard. He's obviously a capable person. He should be given a question by the Prime Minister. Come up. Give us a little yarn about how you're going with this. Because I know Melinda Key and all the other people in SaveOurSuper, and that's the support group, they really want to hear. They really want to hear what's going on. Because they haven't heard much from this chamber. In fact, they've heard nothing. They've heard absolutely nothing. Now, as I said, we've also got issues such as, I'll give you one. Now that even though they've lost their money, people are ineligible for age pensions because Centrelink sees the super balances as still existing. Can you imagine that? You've got no money. Your money's been stolen. I mean, they went out and find some of these people. They find safes full of jewellery and cash and property disappearing overseas. Yet these people say, you go on the age pension. No, they can't, because they still deem that they have super balances. I mean, this is, it is incredible that this has been allowed to happen. We've obviously also got the health impacts. For people, they woke up and they thought, there's something not quite right. It's not quite right. They're trying to get their super out and all of a sudden it's been frozen. And then they just find it's not there. That can affect people emotionally. Finding out, you bust. That can hurt people to find out, oh, hang on, I'm broke. I've got no money. I've put I'm thinking of the case. One bloke with over $1 million in super, he blew it. Another lady, she had $600,000. She'd been working diligently, woke up, no money, just gone. And ASIC has oversight over this. And they have been bereft of competency, capabilities and explanation. Competencies, capabilities and explanation as to what's happened. And we should be holding the Assistant Treasurer to account. There should be some explanation to this House about exactly how this happened and some guarantee or warrant that it's not already happening again. Because I haven't heard that. Maybe I've been missing in these exorbitant and exciting question times. But I haven't heard anybody talk about this. And I think it's about time to do. So I say to Melinda and the others, yep, come to Sydney. After I've kicked up a big stink about intermittent power, I'll start kicking up a big stink about them as well and try and help them out because they need help. Now, we want to see what happens in the complex AFCA complaints process. We want to make sure that this gets to some form of resolution. We want to make sure that even the tax and superannuation complication issues that have been brought up by this, that they're resolved. I'm sure he has the academic acumen, the Assistant Minister, to deal with this, but I haven't seen the delivery in dealing with this. And as once more, I acknowledge he has now had a meeting with Melinda Key, and I appreciate that. And his apparently approach was one very empathetic, as I read in Melinda's notes. But it can't stop there. Empathy goes so far, but doesn't go as far as restoring your superannuation balance, and that's what we need. So Macquarie's done the right thing. Macquarie Bank's done the right thing. They've said, OK, we had our fingers in this and we're going to have to pay these people out. Good. What about the rest? What about the rest? They had their fingers in it too. They got their commissions, their trailing fees. They made money out of it. They put it in their pocket. They didn't do it for free. So if they made their money out of it, if they've received their commissions, then I think they're responsible for exactly what happened to their clients' money. And this is going to be, so let's see, maybe this week, but 3, but 1 day's gone, 2 days ago. Let's see if it gets through the Tactics Committee of the Labor Party to do a Dorothy Dixer, because I want to put it on Facebook and show Melinda and show the others that you are actually as good as your word.
Member for New England, it being 7:30 p.m, I propose